Grab your popcorn, folks, because what started as a sweet country love story has turned into a full-blown Hollywood betrayal saga. Maggie Baugh just dropped a bombshell that could shake Keith Urban's career to its core while leaving Nicole Kidman reeling from heartbreak and legal turmoil. The same Keith who crooned about love and loyalty is now accused of running secret deals, shady investments, and hidden agendas behind his wife's back. And according to insiders close to Maggie, the evidence is shockingly detailed. So what really went down behind that picture-perfect marriage? Let's unpack it. When people say money can't buy happiness, clearly they haven't seen what it can destroy. Keith Urban's carefully curated image of charm and devotion might be collapsing faster than his country hit streak. The trouble all started when Maggie Baugh, rising star and insider in the music world, decided she wouldn't stay silent. Out of nowhere, she posted a black and white photo of a guitar case on Instagram with the caption, "Some secrets aren't meant to stay buried." Within minutes, social media erupted. Fans initially assumed it was about a record deal, but the leaks suggested something far darker: betrayal, financial manipulation, and covert schemes. According to insiders, Maggie reportedly had access to Keith's private investment network, the same network allegedly leveraging Nicole Kidman's name for business credibility. What the public saw as a Hollywood power couple facade, insiders claim, was actually a quiet financial storm brewing behind red carpets and award speeches. An anonymous source from Keith's accounting team told Starflick Media that there were suspicious transfers, unexplained investments, and documents bearing Nicole's initials that she never signed. It wasn't just shady, it smacked of systematic manipulation. Nicole Kidman, known for her discipline and grace, has been Hollywood royalty since the early 90s. Keith Urban, the charming Aussie country singer, had his redemption story, battling addiction, rebuilding his life, and marrying one of the most respected women in the world. But behind Grammy stages and polished couple interviews, things allegedly went sideways. Rumor has it that Maggie stumbled onto something she wasn't supposed to see. Allegedly, during a Nashville recording session, she overheard Keith's manager discussing redirected funds and signature placements. At first, she dismissed it as industry jargon, but when she noticed irregularities in a payment, she began digging, and that's when the firestorm ignited. Sources claim Maggie confronted Keith privately, warning him that she knew he was using Nicole's name to mask private transactions. Instead of handling it quietly, Keith allegedly exploded, accusing Maggie of blackmail and attempting to sabotage him. Within a week, Maggie was cut from 2 major showcases, which pushed her to go public. The internet split immediately. Die-hard Keith fans called it lies, claiming Maggie was a starlet seeking attention. But others began connecting dots. Every old performance, every interview, and even offhand comments about money or stability became suspicious. Meanwhile, Nicole remained completely silent. Not a post, a statement, or a public comment. Sources say she's devastated but strategic, waiting for her legal team to comb through years of financial documents. Entertainment lawyers suggest that if Nicole's name was used without consent, the situation could have criminal implications. Here, where it gets darker, Keith reportedly had control over certain joint accounts under a management clause added during a prenup renewal back in 2014. He convinced Nicole to let him manage rural investments while she focused on films. Those rural investments, sources claim, were allegedly shell companies and offshore accounts, some registered under a mysterious entity called Golden String Holdings with no verifiable address. Maggie's alleged studio emails might be the missing puzzle piece linking these transactions. When Maggie went public, the chaos escalated. She leaked a voice memo allegedly capturing Keith saying, "She trusts me. The documents don't need her to sign if I already have pre-clearance." "We've done this before." The tone was reportedly cold, calculated, and shockingly different from the warm persona fans knew. The memo spread like wildfire, racking up millions of views and hashtags worldwide. Urban Leak, Nicole deserves, and Maggie spoke the truth. Keith's team quickly claimed it was a deep fake, but audio experts suggested a 98% match to his actual vocal patterns. Not just a rumor anymore, fans saw it as a confession. Things escalated further when an anonymous Twitter account claiming to be a former assistant hinted at offshore transactions occurring while Nicole was halfway across the world filming in Morocco. The timeline matched her Amazon series, Expats, suggesting Keith might have been moving money while she was literally on the other side of the globe. Hollywood and Nashville went into full meltdown mode. Gossip pages called it the country music scandal of the decade. Major networks pulled interviews with Keith, and luxury brand deals allegedly froze overnight. Keith's silence only amplified the speculation. Meanwhile, Maggie was everywhere, confident, calm, and unafraid. "I didn't want to do this," she said in a TikTok live. "But sometimes the truth plays louder than the music." That statement alone became a meme, slogan, and rallying cry. And as if the chaos couldn't get more explosive, tabloid Velvet Wire released screenshots of internal emails between Keith's management and a Sydney law firm. The emails discussed using Nicole's identity and likeness under an entertainment clause to secure investor credibility for private projects. The implication: the marriage was being monetized without Nicole's knowledge. One email reportedly read, "Please ensure the primary spouse remains uninvolved to maintain plausible deniability." Yikes. Nicole's fan base immediately turned against Keith. Music videos were flooded with angry comments, ticket sales were questioned, and some called him Mr. Kidman's accountant. Meanwhile, Maggie's uncle, a Florida music producer, came forward with claims of hard evidence, framing this as a matter of integrity rather than fame or money. Then a former Nicole publicist added another layer. Nicole had been concerned for years about unauthorized signatures and opaque financial dealings, allegedly told it was all standard marital management. Could this have been going on for years? Nicole's silence was deafening. She quietly unfollowed Keith on Instagram, a small gesture that screamed volumes. And then the Nashville Ledger reported federal auditors were investigating Golden String Holdings, the same company linked to Maggie's leaks. It didn't stop there. Private emails between Nicole and her attorney allegedly revealed her intentions. "If any of this proves true, I will not only walk away from the marriage, I'll ensure every signature tied to my name is investigated. I will not be anyone's brand." That line, "I will not be anyone" brand, exploded across the internet, redefining Nicole as empowered, not victimized. Her legal team reportedly traced funds tied to Keith's projects, uncovering offshore accounts, corporate entities in multiple countries, and funds labeled vaguely under media partnerships and promotional projects. Some money allegedly ended up tied to properties in Switzerland and New Zealand. Rumors even suggested FBI and international banking authorities were reviewing the same financial threads. Keith's image crumbled. PR attempts, apologies, public statements, and leaked rehab stories failed. Fans weren't sympathetic, they demanded accountability. Meanwhile, Maggie doubled down. She hinted at more proof locked in a secure drive, teasing, "What I've shown so far is just the chorus." Keith allegedly attempted private negotiations to silence her, but she refused, insisting truth cannot be bought. Nicole, quietly taking control, separated shared assets and reclaimed ownership of her production company. Then, in a moment nobody saw coming, she attended an awards gala alone. No ring, no Keith, no smiles. When asked how she was, she simply said, Lighter. That one word sent the internet into a frenzy, symbolizing liberation from a manipulative marriage. Keith's life spiraled further. Concerts were canceled, brand deals pulled, collaborators distanced themselves. And then new evidence allegedly connected his shell company to a high-profile Hollywood financier previously associated with Nicole's movie deals. If true, this wasn't just unauthorized use of her name, it was exploiting her connections. Nicole reportedly filed private injunctions to reclaim intellectual property tied to her name, likeness, and branding. Rumors even hinted at a tell-all documentary exposing Hollywood's manipulative side, possibly with Maggie consulting. Poetic justice seemed inevitable. Keith's legal team issued statements calling the allegations baseless, defamatory, and financially motivated. But by then, public opinion had already delivered its verdict. Fans created memes, remixed old love songs, and questioned whether Keith had ever been singing to Nicole or to his offshore accounts. Nicole, meanwhile, flew to Australia with her daughters, away from cameras and chaos. Paparazzi caught her smiling in the airport, phone in hand, scrolling peacefully. When asked for comment, she said, "Sometimes silence is the loudest truth." The story transformed from scandal to survival. Nicole emerged empowered, reclaiming her identity and wealth, while Keith watched an empire built on secrets crumble. But one question remains. What else is still hidden beneath the Hollywood and Nashville veneer? Because in these circles, truth never dies. It simply waits for the next verse to play. Maggie didn't just stir the pot. She burned the whole house down. Keith Urban's empire is trembling. Nicole Kidman's pristine Hollywood image cracked, and the internet is still scrambling to separate truth from lie. Maggie's silence now speaks louder than any song, and Keith's team can no longer spin a PR redemption story. Not this time. So what's the verdict? Is Maggie the courageous whistleblower Nashville needed, or the storm that toppled its golden couple? Comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell because Lumi Legacy will be covering every twist, every leak, every secret. The next chapter is already being written, and you won't want to miss a second.